Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my next review, which is Gears of War. Have to warn you, before we get fully started, there's spoilers in this video, right? So, if you don't want spoilers for a game that's about as old as the fucking hills, beat it.
Jack, rip that door.
What are you doing here?
Getting you out. Here, put this on. You'll need it.
You could get in a lot of trouble for doing this.
Not anymore. Things have changed. We better go.
What about the other prisoners? You can't just leave them here.
They're gone. Hoffman pardoned everybody.
Is that right?
Welcome back to the army, soldier.
Shit.
I've been wanting to just look at older games for a wee while, so that's why I did all the Doom ones, even though there's 2 new ones in that, but, you know, here we are. So I suppose you could put Gears of War in a horror action shooter genre, much like your Resident Evil 4s and 6. 6 is the best game, right? So you go Marcus Phoenix, and he's helped along by his pal Dominic Santiago. Marcus Phoenix. What a name. The first part's fine, Marcus is a name. It's Phoenix. Now I know it's not spelled the same as the bird, but you know, Phoenix is like the fake hardman name that some prat would give themselves at high school. Yes, I'm Douglas Phoenix and I'm here to sort out your bullying pipe problem or whatever. Meet Marcus Phoenix and his best pal, Dominic Thunderbird. Aye, fuck right off. Who wrote this? So it's some walloper at Epic Games wrote this. Some guy, Cliffy B, I think his name is, and no, his nickname was Dude Huge. Haha, huge dick. No, Dude Huge. I hope you didn't give that yourself, Cliff, because if you do, you deserve to be smacked in the face with an elephant's penis. This was also the game that introduced the squat run. It's one of the weirdest looking things ever. But you know, it's funny. It's just a squat run and magnetic spine. And fair warning to people, this is also an extremely violent game. Gibbing, or is it jibbing? I say gib because I prefer the way it rolls off the tongue. Other people will say jibbing, but that would mean, I don't know, it just doesn't sound right to me. I know it's giblets or giblets, doesn't matter. Say it whatever way you want to say it. There's gibbing in the game, right? And you blow people to fucking bits with grenades, and you can chainsaw them in half and quarter, and see guts flying, and if you make an arse of it, you get ripped apart by all kinds of creatures. And there are big boss fights in this beastly game.
Beastly game!
Oh my god.
It really did popularise the cover-based shooter. There were probably other ones before it, but I don't really remember them, and if I don't remember them, then it doesn't really matter, you know. My opinion is king, and yours is absolute plebeian, or ruffian, or proletariat. That's a belter. Proletariat. The proles, the scum, the riffraff, the manky bastards at the bottom of the fucking pile, you understand? Now, what else am I going to say about this game? It's got branching paths. A few times through the campaign, you understand, you'll be brought with a choice. And you can go left or right. It's like, it's very exciting, isn't it? Left or right? Yes or no? Left or right? Up your jumper. Christ, I can't even remember when this game originally released. It's like early to mid 2000s. It's like 2006, but that's no right. No, that's no. Maybe 2007, 2008, something like that. A while ago. This is the Ultimate Edition I'm playing right enough, and it's considerably not as old.
Thanks, man.
It's a port of the PC version of Gears of War, which came with some extra campaign content. Very exciting. And it's got some of the most exciting weaponry you'll ever see in your fucking life. You've got all the staples of your machine guns, your shotguns, sniper rifles, hand cannons, pistols, burst rifles. What else? I think that's just about it. I think that covers everything. There's the Hammer of Dawn as well, which is basically a satellite weapon. I think Death Star only nowhere near as powerful or as cool, you know? Even though you see them absolutely fucking trouncing cities with it in the intro. Can't seem to kill a beastie without hitting it like 3 or 4 times, so I can only conclude that since the destruction of Serra and the willful fucking of the cities that the authorities gave to stop the Locust, they've rather lost their calibrations. Very strange. So that's what I think. The weapons are good though, and you get the chain gun. No, it's not a chain gun. It's a machine gun with a chainsaw on it, which is the most impractical thing you've ever thought of in your life. What happened? You can just imagine cutting into battle with a chainsaw and then to your gun, and you chop somebody in half, and then it gets unceremoniously pumped because you need to unclog the fucking chain. Hold on, sir, I'm fucking clogging my chain. That fucking bastard's teeth stuck in it, and you're like, oh, it's too late, you're dead, you've been shot by a sniper. Yeah, stupid looking ugly gimp. Ain't one of the fucking humans lost this war. They get absolutely pumped, rotten, and then their greatest invention was to stick a chainsaw on a machine gun. No. No. That was a bad move. Just stick a big blade on it. In fact, better yet, don't bother with anything, just weighs the fucking thing down. Just run up and headbutt the bastard. Might as well at this point. You don't jump in the game, and I always find that really strange, you know? I always find it weird. You be in a game and you're like, I want to jump. It's like you're glued to the ground. It's just, I don't know, it feels disjointed, disconnected by being more connected, because you can't fucking leave the surface of the planet. Well, you can lift your feet, but you can't jump. Like, hoop! I can't jump anyway, do you know? Hoop! That's a bit sad. Hoop! Barely get my fucking feet off the ground, you know? It's like a baby hippo. I can try to jump through a hula hoop. Hoop! But it's just weird when you can't jump. I want to be able to jump. Okay. Good. So this is a long line of games at this point. There's 5 of them. And there's a spin-off game called Judgment. I don't know if I'll play that or not. And there's another spin-off game called Tactics. Gears Tactics, that is. Think of your new XCOM games, and you've arrived at the station that I want you to arrive at, you know? It's a very exciting game. And it is. I'm not saying that sarcastically. I'm saying this with love. With absolute love from the creators of Unreal. And Fortnite. They made this. And were once relevant in my heart. Now they're just like diarrhea. Every time I turn on Twitch, there's some prick playing Fortnite. Fucking hell, man. Fuck Fortnite. Okay. Fuck it hard. Fuck it raw. Fuck it long and loose. Until it shits itself. I hate that game so much. And they're doing the same to another franchise, not Epic Games of course, but another franchise I have a deep love for is Titanfall. Not so much the first game because it was online, multiplayer only shite. But Titanfall 2 deserves so much more than it got, and then they go and fuck it up with Apex Legends. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, the world is on its bum cheeks, and they're raw, red raw from all the scraping of the gravel. Gaming's not what it once was, not for me, and I'm just sounding like a bitter old prick. That's fine. I'm a bitter old prick, and that's just the way. That's the way it is. And that's the way I'm going to be the rest of my miserable ass days. I'm going to be playing old games of what once was, wishing that what once was again. I could have put that better, but you know what I mean. It's all fucked, and so am I. And for that, I give you Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Or you could play Gears of War on the Xbox 360, or you could play it via backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. Which is, it runs fine, probably runs better than this one actually, but you don't get the added campaign content of, shooting a few more Locust drones and then fighting a Brumac. Why the hell did they call it a Brumac? The architecture in this game is also smashing. It's like Roman fantasy with a big bit of sci-fi. Kinda gives me a Lord of the Rings feeling for some reason. Just these over-the-top grandiose fucking granite buildings, or whatever the equivalent of granite would be in Serra. I don't even know if Serra's meant to be Earth. I kinda like the idea of it not being on Earth, but just another human civilization, like the same as ours. I quite like that idea. I hope that's what they were going for, because that's what I took from it. I don't know enough about Gears of War lore to have a proper opinion on that, or even proper knowledge. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing what I think should be, and not to what actually things are. Okay? But that's just me, because I'm being an ignorant old bastard now. Okay, good. I'm enjoying this chat. It's like chatting to an old friend you've not chatted to for years. And you go up to him and you're like, alright mate, it's been 15 years since I said hello, what are you up to? Fuck all. Good night.
It keeps jamming. See?
Sniper! Take position! Never seen the Locust run like this. Running away won't help! I'll just shoot you in your asses! You are pissed today. Damn right. I missed my family. I'll kill every one of these bastards.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn your attention to what they do on Serra, differently from Earth. They paint their explosive, well, anything really, blue rather than red, just to confuse the fuck out of you. Yes, I'm strange. What more do you want? So, as I was watching back my old review, well, old, it's a few days, right? The first review for the first Gears of War, I may have omitted and forgot to mention some, aspects and enemies and vehicle sections in the game. So what I've decided to do is now take notes for this review. So this is what I've done. I've taken notes like a good student of something, trying to improve myself and all that shit, not look like a complete fucking dafty, and going, what about is it Skrull or Krull or Rull? The flying things that mince you in seconds, I didn't mention them, and they're not in the sequel. There was a tank section in the first game where you shone the light at them, and if you hit them with ultraviolet light, they blow up like fucking vampires, so I forgot all about that. I didn't play through the whole game. I have, but, I forgot to mention it. So what I'm going to do, take notes like I've done, put bullet points, and just sort of go through there. Okay, so that's what we'll do now. Okay, what will we say about this game? What will we say? Well, it takes up after the first game. That's probably a good point, where they fired these big missile things and then didn't kill everything somehow, magically. Oh, I know how they didn't kill everything. Sequel. We wanted a sequel, so we couldn't have everything die. Because there wouldn't be a sequel then, because the war would be won, the day would be done, and their pockets would be running empty with money right now. Although it's Epic Games, so they've got Fortnite to fall back on. I mentioned it again! I'm a disease of a human being. So as with most game sequels, you'll expect new shit. And you get fucking tons of it in this, actually. Loads of new stuff. New monsters, new weapons. New monster weapons. Some new characters, like that guy with all the tattoos, Kai the Pie, and I think the old fella with the Stetson's called Dizzy, but it could be Izzy Wizzy, let's get dizzy. Remember that? Ever remember Sooty and Sweep? Fucking hell, those were the days, I think they're all dead now. Well, they're hand puppets, but I think the guy that puppeted them is passed on to the big great puppet shop or whatever the fuck it is. Muppets. Aye. Man, I've really had enough of life, haven't I? So the whole game you go Marcus again, there's some new sections, like you get to go to the Locust's like home city, Nexus I think it's called, the Nexus. Why is it not called like New Locuston Town or something like that? Why does it always get shite names like the Nexus, the Hub, the End of the Line, yeah, you get the point. Why have they got cool names like fucking the Locust in Arms Brigade of Death and We Hate Humans here, fuck you in the face, we will kill you with a rock, we will shoot you in the face. So I'd say you get slightly more variety in your levels in this one. You'll go above ground, below ground, above ground, below ground. You'll see some blues and greens and a wee bit of red to go with your browns. But this is a brown shooter, okay? Let's not kid ourselves on here. So
I think it's safe to say that's not a natural K formation.
You were wondering where they come from, Carmine? You
here's some of the new weapons, right? You get a flamethrower, which it does is exactly what you would think a flamethrower would do. It throws the flames. Now you can get this weapon kicking about, or you'll get it off the flamer enemy. Shoot the tanks in the back of his suit. Watch him go kapow, motherfucker. I mean, I've got a list of weapons and enemies here, and I'm like, how the fuck do I talk about these without sounding like a complete twat? I could just rant them off like Cantus, machine pistol, fucking grinder, which is not the right thing, it's a mulcher, a mortar, fucking ink grenade. There you go, there's your new weapons. Happy now? No, me either. New fucking enemies, you get tickers, although I think they're called clickers, but they're actually called tickers. I think. I've got Last of Us in the brain, right, so everything's a fucking clicker, ticker, ficker, fricker, up your arse. You get the wee bastards, a little wee fucking walking mines with mouths. You're like, hold on, you wee prick, let me put a bomb on you. You know, like, the Locusts do not really treat their pets very well. Not at all, in fact. Cantus. Right, Cantus is a wank because they can sort of revive. If you've like shot an enemy, knocked them down and they're crawling about like fannies, I don't know why they're crawl. Shot in the head, dead. Shooting them in the knee, they'll crawl on their knees, and he can scream and turn white, and then they fucking all get back up. Kind of like an archvile, only a bit shite, you know. Well, so you go here, a sire, which is a human fucking hybrid thing. Don't know what they thought they would make them things for. Stupid bastards. You've got chargers that have got shields and fucking... This is like Lord of the Bastard and Rings, isn't it? You've got your grinder, that's the right name, it just goes grind. Rather than the boomer, which I didn't tell you about in the other video either, going boom. This one goes grind. The charger goes George. So that's why I think it's called a charger, because it says George, no grind or boom. Okay, you got that? Good. Fucking hell. Blood Riders. Don't think that's the right name for them either. They've got, basically the Locusts have got these fucking mounts. They've got big legs and tiny wee T-Rex arms and they'll fucking swipe at you. They take a few bullets to pip down, but they're cool, you know. You can knock off their fucking rider and that fucking right in the fucking eye.
We'd be trying to help them?
I don't think so. We don't know what's in there. Could be something contaminated or worse.
What else? Come on! A chopper? Right, I forgot about did I mention the chopper? Who cares? And the last but not least, my bossick, no. Last but not fucking least, motherfucker, you've got the lambent.
Yo, those glory ass locusts are coming!
I'm on it!
Got him! Are you seeing this shit?
Yeah. Fortunately.
Dig in, baby. Going into overtime.
Another thing I didn't tell you about the first game is that there's this stuff called emulsion, and they're using it as a fuel source. Turns out it's alive, and it starts infecting these things, and they go fucking crazy. Fucking mental, man! They turn all yellow, and when you kill them, they explode. You did see them in the first game, but I never told you about that either, so you get wee wretches in like the 3rd or 4th level, and they'll blow up, and you never see them again, so obviously they were sort of, we'll hint at the lambent, but we'll not really dive into that to the next game. They probably ran out of fucking time to do everything these days. What did I fucking say here? Enemies can use lancers and chainsaw you in half. Bastards. Well, I gotta give it to myself. It's fucking true. Well, the AI, the you know, well, any AI shite in this game. I get fucking downed and the cunt just stood there beside me going, I'll just continue to shoot and I'll just bleed to death then, okay? Prick. What a fanny. Fanny! With a hammer burst rifle, before I forget to mention something, is what was I gonna say? It's a single shot now. It's no longer fucking. How many fuckings can I get in a fucking video? Jesus. It's no longer the sort of 3-4 shot burst. It's now just one shot, and it's a lot more powerful. I love it. It's pretty cool if you like sniping and you don't actually have a sniper rifle. You can use the hammer burst to kapow them in the face, right? Quite a long game, I think, but when you go underground in the Locust Underground part, it's like fucking everything turns brown to red. It's like fucking wading your way through a massive shite, but not just a shite, a blood jobby. It's like wading through a blood jobby. You'll see things that you didn't think you'd see. There's a giant fucking worm in this game, and even when you're inside the worm, it looks like a big washed out fucking brown shite. So they really love their sort of washed out, everything merges into a fucking blurry brown pink mess. It's like an N64 game played on a fucking LCD 50-inch. I put fucking Shadow Man on one day. An N64 Shadow Man, car, native, everything. Spark plug, turned it on. I couldn't see a fucking thing. Everything was smeared with shite. Hate that fucking game now. Don't really, but meant to be remastered, but what the fuck's the point? Who cares? You want to play that game? I've seen buses that can make better turns than Mike the Shadow Man, Jobby Jones, or whatever his fucking puss is, right? Anyway, let's talk more about this fucking game. Did I say anything else? Turns the page like I found him. No. I guess I'm done then, so it's a bigger, badder, better version of Gears of War. This is the pinnacle for me in the series. This is basically the one I like the most, right? But that's, I'll take that from the original trilogy, because I think Gears of War is really the start of a new trilogy, even though everything's pretty much the same. And what we'll do here now is, there must be something I've forgotten about. Did I mention the tank? Aye, I didn't mention the tank, did I? There'll be a section of the game, and I didn't think, I couldn't remember if I'd control that fucking thing. I know what you do. You control it and you drive around this frozen tundra and you sparkle people. And the reavers will come down and you'll shoot them and they'll die. But it's not the best at handling. It controls like a Halo car. Like you use the stick. Left stick, forward goes forward, and then you use the right stick to turn left and right and look around and shit. And then you can reload the gun. Don't know where they're getting all these shells for, but it's a video game, come on! There's bits where you need to go in frozen lakes, and I just fucking skited right off and into the fucking drink. Because you got these prick nemesis bastards that'll fucking bomb you. And I just went boom, fucking bomb right in front of me, I'm like, right in the fucking drink. Arseholes, man. Fucking wanks. So there is some mild frustration to be had. You'll get other sections where you get turrets and you need free people, and there's quite a few, well, there's two sort of emotional, pivotal moments in the game. I'll probably not show both of them.
Ty? Is that you?
Marcus, we got more locusts on the way!
Ty, let's go! Cole, Bear, cover that door! Carmine, Dom, guard the rear! Ty! No!
I have both recorded. I was fucking greeting the day when I was playing this. Fucking unbelievable. Quite a sad, but I wasn't expecting it. I've played the game before and not been affected. But now I'm like, oh, it's fucking sad, isn't it? Must be an age thing. Must be. Jesus. So it's not only The Last of Us that can get the emotional bits right, okay, just before you say fucking fuck all. My head's fucking sore. I sometimes use YouTube videos as my personal source of ranting and outlet, okay? Just to get the anger out and all that shite. If I think of anything else, I'll add it later on. Fuck it, I'm off. I'll catch you later. Bye! Well, what I mean is I'll talk about it in the next video if I've forgotten anything. Good night, folks. Well, you all know what time it is. Time to settle in and enjoy the Gears of War 3 review.
I'll get the popcorn.
Jack, rip that door.
What are you doing here?
Getting you out. Here, put this on. You'll need it.
You could get into a lot of trouble for doing this.
Not anymore. Things have changed. It's your father. He needs you.
My father? But he's gone, Anya. He's dead.
No, he's out there. He needs you.
Anya, wait. What the hell's going on?
So where do we start off talking about Gears of War 3? Well, it's now set on a boat. Well, for the first wee while anyway. Set on a boat. Set after the destruction of Jacinto to curtail the spread of the Lambent Horde and the destruction of the Locust, although who gives a fuck about that? Still don't know why the Queen is human, but there you go. And spoilers. There will be spoilers for this game. Fucked that up, didn't I? Should have said that first. Never mind. Yeah, it's fine. We'll power on. Right, so set 18 months after the destruction of Jathanto, and yeah, the Lambent have pretty much fucked everything up for everybody. Stocks of Lambent everywhere, and this is where the game gets quite interesting, I think, because you now get 3 factions all fighting each other: humans, Locust, Lambent. Really like this. So some of the battles can be like, ooh, the Locust have shown up, and you're like, cool, when you're splattering heads and getting shot, blowing up, whatever. And then Lambent stocks will just burst out the ground. Oh, mate, it's good. And I like the way they do that. They just pop, and then you get wee pustules on the side of the stocks that you can shoot. Sometimes you'll have 1, sometimes you will have 2 pustules to shoot. Shoot them and destroy the stocks so they don't keep spawning these fucking glowy drones. Oh yes, and all the Lambent forces, once you've killed them, explode. So try not to use your chainsaw on them or any close-up attack whatsoever, because you will get caught in that explosion. And that is bad for everybody. Well, bad for you anyway. Bad for you and your health, you know. I'm quite a fan of the Lambent forces as well. They're really interesting, actually. You get some smaller ones, some bigger ones, wee spider type things that will come off other bigger enemies. You'll have like medium-sized enemies, and they can all start to mutate and change. Like the arms will grow bigger, and they'll like start shooting more concentrated bolts of emulsion at you, which is really weird, and it's cool. It's like it gives a bit more of a dynamic to the actual combat, and you don't quite know what they're going to do, apart from blow up at the end. And I have to say, one of my favourite new enemies is the Gunker. Gunker's cool. He's a bit in the tanky side of life, but when he dies, it's very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. Just remember to stand back, you know. The Locusts have got new enemies as well, and I actually forgot that the Locusts were even in this game. I don't know why I forgot. Bit silly, really, innit? Of course, they're not going to be completely wiped out. I actually thought they were all Lambent, but I've played this before and I just forgot. So you get these like brute type characters that will actually fire grenades, and the grenades will burrow under the ground and then come up at you when you're in cover, which is really fucking irritating, actually, because you need to move and you can just dive yourself into another line of fire, or just death, you know, just death. And you get the Locust that will now burst out of the sand and the ground, they'll burrow under the ground and boom, like a big fucking land sharks. It's really weird, but it's pretty cool. Again, gives you a wee bit of change to what you're used to for the Gears of War games, and that they did have to do that, otherwise these games would all be very, 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 very samey. And by the way, see if you thought this game was violent, you should see some of the shit that goes down on this motherfucker, I'll tell you. Very violent, very gory, amazing. Do you remember the Cantus from the second game? Yeah, well now there's an armoured variant of that bastard. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more fucking irritating. Why is the Locust Queen Mira, I heard. Why is she human and why is she so sexy?
It's him. Alert the fleet. I want every outpost between here and Azura at full readiness. And make sure we don't lose him again.
In that tight suit of hers, with her silly helmet on. Take the helmet off and you look like a fucking twat. You look like Steppenwolf from the first version of Justice League. That's what. Yes, and you also get vehicle sections in the game. You'll be in the back of a truck, maybe going out to rescue people, or then you'll be in the back of a bigger truck with a Vulcan minigun shooting down the flying things I forget the name of right now. Oh, I can't remember the name of the bloody things. There's an underwater section as well, where you're in an underwater tank submarine thing. Don't really remember liking it all that much, but it's part of the story, so we put up with it because we love the rest of the game now, don't we? Boss fights. What the boss fights like again? You get the big fucking Leviathan thing at the start of the game, like you fight that in the second one, only it's not quite as gigantic and it doesn't, you know, glow in the dark. And also it doesn't like go off like a fucking nuke when you kill it. There's a corpser fight as well that I remember that I quite enjoyed that. Splattering baby corpses. They're so cute, aren't they? No. Die! Look, you've probably realised I'm not the greatest of fucking reviewers, right? I'm just having a pure, utter laugh with this. If you choose to buy the game after I have done with it, you are a bigger believer than I ever thought possible. And I thank you. Don't know why I'm thanking you right enough, because even if you did buy the game, I don't fucking see any of the profit. Microsoft, I want money, right? Anybody buys this game based on the strength of my convictions, I want money. That was Discord ruining my day again. Fuck's sake. I'd normally edit that out, but you know what? Let's just go with the flow, because I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. What else do I say about this fucking game? It's gory, I've said that. It's got guns in it. Well, obviously, it's called Gears of War. Is there any gears in it? Well, you are a gear. That's insulting, is it? No, you're like, fuck's sake. What did they actually call the soldiers in the COG army? Cogs. You're literally a cog in the fucking machine. That isn't a bigger slap in the face. I don't know what that... Like, maybe getting slapped in the face by a glowing fish? Look, my reviews aren't really reviews. They're more like humorous rants that I like, sort of wrap up in the guise of a review, right? I'll tell you some things about the game that are good and some that are things that are bad. Sounds like Bilbo Baggins at his fucking 11th birthday. And I couldn't even say that properly. 11th birthday, there you go. 11th. Ooh. And if you choose to buy it, like I say, you're a tit. But you should buy these games because they're fucking buttons now, you know, they don't cost much. And they're hella entertaining. Plus there's co-op. Did I mention there's co-op? I think it's 2 for the story, and you can play 4-player co-op with Horde mode. I think there's a Beast mode, which is basically you go the beasts rather than the humans. Not really fucking rocket science there, is there? So there's also a few surprises in store. Like you remember the talking about fucking the emotional scenes. There's a couple in this as well. One in particular, and I'm not going to show you it because I would like you to discover it on your own. There's also a lambent variant I'd like you to discover on your own as well, even though I've kind of ruined that a little bit. Should have said there's a monster variant. That would have been better. There's a monster. Never mind that I just said lambent, right? There's a monster variant in this game. I actually really like the vehicle sections. Not the underwater one right enough, but the one where you're going off to get the fuel and you're on the back of a truck with a Vulcan going through the wrecked city. It's fucking cool, man. I like that. It's longer than I remember it being. Usually these vehicle sections are over in a fucking blink of an eye. This one lasted, and I like that it did that. You also get to defend a fort against a massive locust siege. Then the lambents show up and ruin everybody's fucking day. Some of the creature designs are... Oh mate, the creature designs are brilliant. And you get to fight a lambent berserker. What a cunt she is.
Everybody get to the rear of the fort! Run!
Aye, it's actually a pretty cool boss fight. It's a little bit simple, but I still managed to get smacked a couple of times off her, so it's not that bad. And yes, the branching paths are there once again for the third time. And Claudia Black's in it. That was quite a surprise. She voices one of the characters. No shit. I don't know if she's from New Zealand or Australia, but she's using her native accent, which is not English. She tends to do an English accent, I've noticed. Specifically Farscape, but she's done English accents and other things as well. I don't know what she did in Stargate, because, well, fuck that, I hated Stargate. Cheesy pish. This is a cracking action horror shooter. It's the third in a series of 6 games. There isn't a Gears of War 6, there's just a prequel that Epic didn't make. It was People Can Fly, the people that are making Outriders, and the folk that made Bulletstorm. And I have previously reviewed Bulletstorm. Go check that review out and then check out that game, because again it's smashing. Hella good. Hella fucking good. I remember the end of this game being shite, but there's also DLC. I'll probably take a wee swatch of that, maybe do a wee cheeky DLC review for you, like I did with the Doom 3s. There's Ram's Shadow, and I'm sure there's a prologue campaign called Aftermath, but I could just be making that up. But I'm pretty sure that exists. If it doesn't exist, fuck. I'll be annoyed. But I remember something called Aftermath kicking about after Gears of War 3 came out. It was a wee while after it. It was like, here's the real ending. And you're like, what? I hate it when games do that. Here's the real ending. No, that ending's the fake one on the disc. Or if it is on the packing disc, who knows. Here's the real ending. Pay for it. Fuck you. Die. Chainsaw you. Marcus. Yes, I'm Scottish Marcus, and I'll put my boot in your balls. Fuck you, you big stupid square-jawed baldy prick. Well, this comes us to the end. Very good, Craggs, very good. Learn to talk, will you? For fuck's sake. Have elocution lessons or something, fuck. This brings us to the end of yet another interesting story, review, rant, fest, shit, McNugget, I don't know. Another one of my interpretations of what a review should be, or could be, or maybe isn't. Maybe you don't like it, and it's not actually factual. I like people just to say their facts about a game and then leave. Well, you can fuck off somewhere else then, can't you? Thanks for sticking around for my warblings. I will check you all out later. That sounded creepier than I thought it was gonna. Good night.
Everybody down! She's gonna blow!
Alright, troops. Well, I said I'd do it. Here's the DLC for Gears of War 3. Now, I said last time that it was Ram Shadow and Aftermath, but Aftermath's actually part of Gears of War Judgment, and I'll get to that accordingly. So for now, it is Gears of War Ram Shadow. Enjoy. Be warned, there are spoilers within this video.
Let me tell you something about war. War ain't always about fighting. Blood, bullets, death, yeah, that's part of it. But it sure as hell ain't all of it. Sometimes it's about knowing when to turn tail and run your fucking ass off.
This is it, people! Saddle up!
Storm's about to hit.
Just remember, little one, in life, there will always be struggle. Such is the nature of things. But in life, there is also hope and happiness.
Status, Valera.
Ty just loaded the last of the civvies on the APCs, Lieutenant Kim.
Thank the Sovereigns for that. After sundown, this place is gonna be a nightmare.
Relax, Lieutenant. Still hours before the damn krill storm hits the city.
Okay, what can we say about Ram's Shadow? It's a prequel set before the first game, Gears of War, and if you haven't guessed, it's about General Ram's shadow. Don't know if it's his arse crack or his big forehead, but either way, it's one hell of a fucking shadow he's emitting, that's for damn sure. So, what's going on in this DLC, huh? Well, you go Michael Barrick, baldy guy with a beard, and he likes to smoke cigars, right? So he's like a cliche right away. Big cigar, stupid beard, baldy bastard. Okie dokie. You've got some cast members from previous games appearing in this, which is pretty cool. You've got Kim, can't remember the rest of his fucking name. Aye, that'll do. Kim, you know who I'm talking about. The guy that gets stabbed fuck out in the first game after the first chapter. So he's back in it, and a couple of others. There's a new one called Alicia, and then you've got Big Ty, the big Maori looking bastard with the tattoos there. He's fucking cooking. It's nice to see a fresh faced Ty before he blows his own fucking chops off with a shotgun. Brilliant, very nice to see, and he's got nice sort of golden armour. I fucking hate this room. I call it the ticker room, and do you know why I hate it? Because they come at you under the tables, and you can see fuck all. I ended up shooting the table legs more than the bastard and lickers. Pricks. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So you're in Lima City and you're evacuating the place because there's a big Skrull storm coming up. Remember the things that I didn't talk about in the first review? Those fucking things. You'll see them in action here. So in a roundabout kind of way, it doesn't really matter that I didn't mention them because you get to see them anyway, and I don't need to talk about the same thing over and over again, even though I've just done that right now, right this moment in time. Anyway, moving on swiftly. And there's a nice wee sort of caveat change up to the old pace of the game. You've got your boss battles, you've got your bearded guys, and you've got your woman wearing their skin tight leather. And you've got saving the civilians, and you've got funny looking fucking cars and buses and boats and flying things that look like flying dreadlocks, right? Still can't remember the name of the fucking things. I remember the things that get shot up into the air and they ink the sky. Those are nemesis. But the flying things, forget it. Just cannot. How do they fly anyway? They've got no wings. They just go. It's weird. But a wee turn up for the books, you get a wee change of pace for this game, and you actually get to control General Ram himself. You know, Krusty Hitler, warty Donald Trump, he's a brainless big fucking bastard, but you know what? He can take a hit and he can take a bullet. Now, and here's where I'm not really all that keen on this part of the game. It's nice, you get a wee change, you get to go to bad guys and slaughter cogs, but Ram's abilities are quite limited. You've got the ability to run, send out a wee cloud of Skrull to mincemeat everything in their path, or, use your knife. That's it. Not very interesting. I'm sorry, but it's just Snow, and he's a big tank thing, and he's just not fun to control, and he's not really fun to play. I'd rather be put in control of a Locust sniper or something like that, and you've got to plug the cog, and then give you like a few missions of each different class, like go a boomer, maybe go a charger, go just a Locust drone. Like, even though you're Marcus Phoenix or you're this fucking Michael bastard, you're still a soldier. You're nothing really. You're not a super soldier. Ram seems to be some kind of super soldier. He's got the ability to deflect bullets with these Skrull. I mean, what the fuck is that? It's so daft. Right, we're going to natter about the fucking Berserker boss fight. Like we'd no natter about anything else, but you know what I mean? Well, this boss fight was okay, nothing special. It was just a bit silly. You run around and you get these bleachers fucking activated, and you're like, there's this sort of line of fucking boxes in the middle of this football, basketball, fucking gym court thing. And they're like, we need to activate the bleachers to get across. We need to be better climbing over the fucking boxes. It's a video game, I forgot. Then we're talking about the Berserker, and it's like this big fucking thing you can't shoot to damage too much. And you're like, right, cool, you need to use the Hammer of Dawn. This is for the first game, right? So you get the bastard outside, and it's like fucking, okay, what do you do now? Set it on fire so you can shoot it. And I'm like, what? You try to tell me all I need to do is set the thing on fire? What do you need the Hammer of Dawn for then? And I'm sorry, this boss fight's AI was truly fucking atrocious. Fucking running about like a fucking dafty, running all the way over the fucking place, try to get it running at the fire. I was like fucking trying to herd cats. And I'm like, why is AI so pish? Because you get your other 3 AI buddies ordering about you, all firing randomly at the same time or on their own, whenever, just random bullets flying to what, and the fucking poor Berserker didn't know whether it was coming or going. So it took probably about fucking 100% longer than it should have to kill the bastard. Run it into fire, then shoot it. What the fuck? It's also a painfully short DLC. And I've seen this before, this with the DLCs for all the Gears game. They're all fucking short as fuck. It's like 2 hours, 3 at the most. It's like, this is, what? It's bottom of the barrel stuff, I'm afraid to say. It's good fun, it looks great, the graphics are nice, the locales you go to are nice enough, even though you've really seen them a million times before, only you're seeing them a bit more in the daylight now, you know, before they get totally fully fucking wrecked. But at the end of the day, it's really short, not that much interesting happens in it. You get to go a big locust guy who's kind of crap to control and fight with, and then it just fucking ends, and you're like, aye, okay, that wasn't really all that interesting, was it? It's like, was this a mission in the game they just decided to cut out? So I'm a wee bit disappointed in the DLC. I'm actually kind of disappointed in a lot of these sort of shooter type DLCs. Are all short as fuck. The games are short, and the DLCs are just as short. So I mean, it's no bad if you can pick it up for a few shekels here or there. It's not an unpleasant time, but it's over in a flash, and you'll be like, oh, okay, is that it? So, thanks for sticking around and watching. Good night, folks.
Squad might have killed a lot of locusts today, Lieutenant. But this war is only just begun. Our survival depends on one thing. Gears follow orders. But I look at you and I don't see a gear. I see something more dangerous. I see a hero. Well, congratulations, hero. Millions of citizens you've sworn to protect might die because of what you did today. I hereby charge Kilo Squad with desertion, cowardice, trespassing, the theft of experimental military technology, and treason. Does that sound about right to you, Lieutenant Baird?
Well, what can I say, folks? What can I say? We've finally reached the last Gears of War game to be released on the Xbox 360, which is, of course, Gears of War Judgment, made by the lovely, lovely people at People Can Fly, who have a new game out this week called Outriders, which looks like Gears of War, but I played the demo. It's smashing, okay? Bloody good stuff. I'll be looking forward to getting my big fat arse cheeks waded right into that on Thursday, probably more like Friday, after I've done fucking about installing everything. And aye, So after this video, we will go into Gears of War 4 and then Gears 5. There is a spin-off called Gears Tactics, but it's a spin-off, not part of the mainline series. I'm not touching it now, because I really can't be arsed, and I'd like to move on to something other, than Gears of War. Not that I haven't enjoyed making these videos, but the time has come to move on to something else that's a brown shooter. Or a shooter and it is brown. Anyway, so Gears of War Judgment is a prequel to the first Gears of War again, like the Ram Shadow one was a prequel. This is also a prequel, and it's based around Kilo Squad, and you play as all of Kilo Squad throughout the title. You'll go Baird, the sarky-faced, grumpy, blonde prick, Augustus Cole, or as he is alternatively known as, the Cole Train. Woo, baby! Something like that. I didn't really do that justice, but it was fun to do nonetheless. And there's a couple of new characters called Sophia Hendrick, who's a red-headed woman, and Garen Paddock, who's, well, basically, he's Russian, but he's, this is Sarah, so they're not called Russian, they're called something else. But basically, it's, Pendulum Wars was America versus Russia. Do you know, I wouldn't mind a game based on that. The Pendulum Wars. I don't know if Gears Tactics is, I don't think it is, because it's got Locust in the front cover. So I'm going to say no. But an actual proper prequel Gears game, about the Pendulum Wars, so we can actually find out the fuck we were fighting over. Probably fuel. In fact, you know what? I've just kind of come up with the whole thing myself there, so let's not bother. Let's not bother our bum checks. So this game is good. I always thought it was quite disliked when it came out, but apparently I'm wrong. I was looking at some of the review scores, and the score's really bloody high. So I think I was talking pish. Sorry folks. Talking pish. That's me. Some of the things that I don't like, they've changed the buttons. Now I'm at two minds about this, and why I say that is they've changed the button for the grenade. It's no longer a selectable weapon with the D-pad. You now press LB to throw a grenade, or you hold LB to, charter a wee fucking arc so you can see exactly where it's going. I like that it's no longer an actual selectable weapon, because that's fucking terrible. Remember playing games like Quake 2 and you had to select the grenades? Fuck's sake, we've not had to do that since fucking Halo. Let's have grenades on a button, not an actual selectable weapon, because it's just a pain in the arse trying to select them, and then you go back to your machine gun, and you want to throw a grenade, and you go back to your fucking shotgun. Pish. But in saying that, they've changed the buttons, so I'm now pressing the buttons, and they don't do what they did in the previous game, which is fucking annoying. I'm pressing LB to fucking see what my objective is, and I'm throwing grenades. I'm using the D-pad to try and change the weapon, but it's now the Y button that changes the weapon, and I'm like, that's annoying. Why? I can understand the grenade one, but why the other ones? Now the directional buttons don't seem to do much. Just seems like a needless change, because it's not Epic that made this, it's what people can fly. The Bulletstorm Banditos. The game feels more arcadey, because at the end of every mission you get a rating and you get a certain amount of stars, and I don't like that shit. I don't really need to know how many times I've been down during a mission. It's not really important. The fact of the matter is, I'm at the end of that mission. I don't fucking want rated on it. GTA 5 done this, GTA 4 add-ons done this. Fucking hate it. Don't like, unless it's like an arcade mode, like you get Doom, it's got an arcade mode. Gears of War 3's got an arcade mode, but this just seems to mark the arcade mode in with the campaign, and I'm like, no, I don't really care. How many stars did you win? Oh, I only got one. Fuck off. Nonsense. But the gun battles are just as frantic as any other Gears. This is probably on par with Gears 3 for me, so it takes joint first place with Gears of War 3. Those two are actually my favourite. I used to think that Gears 2 was my favourite, but it's no. Gears 3, the fighting is just so much faster in that game, and it's frantic nonsense, and it's brilliant, and it feels the same here. So I'm like, yes, I'm really loving how the game feels over the previous, or the first two entries, if you'd rather. At the beginning of each mission, you're going to get a wee option here. You see a big red skull on the wall or on something, and that's the declassified mode of the mission you're on. So it basically takes your mission you're playing and makes it harder, or adds extra challenges or extra enemies, or you can only use certain guns, or your visibility is reduced, or there's a wind and it makes you freaking go off centre and fly about the place. Nah, it's not really for me. I still like my video games to feel like video games. But if you want a wee bit of an extra challenge or just a different feel for the mission, it's a pretty nice idea. The graphics are gorgeous. I'm playing this on the Xbox One Series X through backwards compatibility, and it is smashing, and it runs even better than it looks. Well, maybe not, but it runs really well, and it looks excellent. So I'm going to natter about the new weapons for a bit now, right? I think there's only like 3. So first up is the new sniper rifle, the Marksa rifle. It is a multi-fire sniper rifle. Well, it doesn't zoom in quite as much as the long shot, but you get multiple shots with it. Another new gun, again this is another single fire rifle, it's the breach shot. Quite powerful, but it's quite tough to use, I thought, so you just need to kind of get used to just aiming as quickly as you can, and then you'll knock heads off in a couple of hits. You've got the Bushka grenade launcher, which is basically the human's version of the boom shot. It's pretty good, but hit or miss. I'm not very good with it. I'm either knocking people left and right with it, or I'm just hitting nothing but air and it's rolling past people. I wish there was like a proximity sensor, so if it got near an enemy it blew up rather than actually directly hitting them. But in saying that, if you're good with grenade launchers, I'm not good with grenade launchers in any game. I tend to avoid them like the plague. I mean, I quite enjoy the boom shot, but even then, I'm shite with using it. It's just, no. Craggs cannot use grenade launchers. Rocket launchers, not so bad, because you can fire at their feet, and the splash damage usually kills them, but grenade launchers, fucking get it. Bouncing these grenades out of the fucking place and blowing everything up but what I want to blow up. It's nice for taking care of emergence holes though. But in saying that, I'm still shite with it, so yeah, not the greatest. B- or C plus 5, 8, I don't know. It's okay is what I'm trying to get at. The game also seems to be less set-piecey than, see, previous titles. There's not big turret sections or anything like that, which I quite like, to be quite honest with you. But sometimes the missions can be like little fucking short as fuck. It's like getting in a room, killing a bunch of bad guys, walking the other end of the room, but it's over. The game can also have an over-reliance on waves, like, oh, you need to set up defences to... It's just kind of like horde mode in the campaign, and I'm not really keen on that. It's a false way of padding the length. Sometimes you get really amazing gun battles out of that. You're just like tense and you're right in there and you're right in the mood and the mood's right and you're just laying waste to these pricks. But in saying that, the game can over-rely, I think, on horde modes in a campaign. It's not the best way to pad out your campaign, I'm sorry. But in saying all that, the game's fantastic, had a lot of fun with it. Declassified modes are cool, adds a wee bit extra spice to your missions. Highly recommend it. Get it, you'll pay next to fuck all for it. Maybe an amulet of cat anuses or something like that, I don't know. Maybe not cat anuses, that's kind of unsavoury. How would one go about harvesting a cat anus? Fuck's sake. Anyway, good night folks.
That's all, folks.
minutes to go back there and make sure the bastard's dead. Move, Lieutenant Baird.
There goes a record. What? I went from lieutenant to war criminal in less than a week.
As you were.
And we're back. Finally today, in New Ephyra, First Minister Jin commemorated the 25th anniversary of the end of the Locust War.
Today, we are humbled by the presence of 2 generations of men and women who braved every danger, who fought the battles that made us what we are, including the most pivotal encounter of the Pendulum Wars, Ashbow Fields.
Santiago! I'll spare you the inspirational speech, Private. You know what to do.
Yes, sir. All right, let's do this. We take down those towers, cripple their communications, then raid the lab. Command wants the Hammer of Dawn, Command gets the Hammer of Dawn.
Oh god, I need to stop procrastinating and do this video. Welcome to the Gears of War review. There will be spoilers in this, so just be aware, okay? Good, hefty spoilers at that, Tay. You know, I don't fuck around when it comes to my spoilers. Right, so this is the first big next-gen version of Gears of War, if you will. Came out on the Xbox One a while ago. I don't remember when. Let's just say a few years. And it's set 25 years after Gears of War 3. Now, I didn't actually think we'd get a Gears 4. I thought we'd kind of be done with the whole Gears thing after the Xbox 360. But, turns out, no. Kind of like God of War and all those big franchises. They live beyond their means, and sometimes they can get ruined. Halo 5, Halo 4 even, Halo 4 and 5. Now, I did enjoy those games, but they weren't very good, I'm afraid, especially when it came to the writing. I think Gears of War is far better when it comes to a sequel done by a different company. This one's done by the Coalition, and yeah, it's the same sort of idea as the Halo franchise. It's continued on years later after you never thought they'd continue, because really it'd been done at that point. The point of finishing Gears 3, there's like, what else could you really do? Turns out a few things, like recycling the Gears of War story over again, and it's just like, yeah, fucking what?
Remain where you are.
Ah, shit.
Shepherds will escort you from the premises.
Let me handle this.
Citizen, you are not authorized.
No citizens here.
Really?
What? Citizen implies we claim allegiance to a centralized authority. I think of myself as part of an anarcho-collective.
Citizen, your act of violence has been noted.
So, what is the story for this? Well, I'll give you the brief sort of synopsis. Is like, you are Marcus Phoenix's son, Jada Phoenix, and you are at first hunting for a replicator, because we've got replicators now. It's just Star Trek. So, oh, we've just made these replicators. Okay, it's 25 years in the future. Fair enough. Technology's advanced. They're building these prefab cities and towns because, well, they've lost most of the human population at this point, so they don't really have a lot of manpower. So it's all automation. Kind of something like, you know, what we're going to be getting into in real life. Auto mods, oh shit. Twitch has come to haunt us all. So you go get this fucking fabricator and the cog show up, but it's like, why am I fighting the cog? It's like, fuck's sake. But they're all robots, there's no humans at all. They're just all these big drones. Big drones, small drones, really small rolling drones. Big tank-like fuckers and planes that drop them. I actually really like that mechanic, I like that, that's really cool looking. This game is linear, so they're all sort of scripted, but sometimes I prefer that over the dynamic open world pish, you know, that isn't really dynamic. It's just the same fucking scenario over and over again with a slightly changed colour palette. Lots of nonsense, I'm afraid, guys. Yeah. The Radiant questline in Skyrim comes to mind, or there's always a settlement in trouble in Fallout 4 comes to mind. Bollocks. Get rid of that shite. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I want custom made beauty. I want things that are scripted because at least thought goes into them and it's not this procedurally generated gumph. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. What are we talking about again? I do this every video. I know, I'm sorry. Aye, so you get your fabricator, the cogs show up, you fight them, you escape. You get back to what's known as, I think it's like an outsider camp. So you've got your sort of cog fucking militaristic society kind of. I think it's like totalitarian for. I just think that's what it is. I don't know. You don't really find out much about society in Sarah pre-Emergence Day. Although they do go over a mission during the Pendulum Wars, which I thought was really cool. I really like the intro of the game. So you get your fabricator, you escape, you fight the cog, you get back to the outsider camp, and you meet Kate's mother. Kate's one of your crew. She's the one with the beanie on. In fact, she's the only woman in the crew, okay? So it's not exactly fucking hard to tell who's who. And you meet her mom, Reyna, and she's pissed off because you're like, you fucking brought the cog doing this. And I'm like, no, I fucking didn't. Aye, you fucking did. And there's like, oh, and then the cogs show up and you've got like a fucking massive battle and it's cool. I like it. It is a wave battle. And yes, the wave things from Gears of War Judgment make a return. It's like, oh god, we need to have horde mode in the campaign to pad out the length of this motherfucker. So this is what they do. And then you and then you win the battle and then these creatures show up and kidnap everybody. So the game turns into then a search for Kate's mother, Reyna. And there's a lot of fucking stuff to do with the Locust with these characters. Not so much JD, but Kate, Reyna, you'll find out later.
It's almost done. Okay, JD, get on that switch. Okay, fire it up.
Look at you.
Guys?
Come on, a minute. You lost faith in me for a second.
Did you touch something?
What?
Something's out there. Come on.
Mom! Hey, listen. You need to hide, and then you need to run.
What are you doing?
Hey, you have to...
Mom! Mom!
I don't know if you find out in this game actually, so I'll maybe talk about that more in the fifth game's review. So then it's a road trip, you're like, ah, it's fucking moon then. Then you go and you find JD's father. And who's JD's father? Marcus Phoenix.
How are you? Sorry about the door.
Don't sweat it. We were just leaving.
So we're clear, Sergeant. If you choose to aid these fugitives, I can't protect you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Holy shit!
And then the cogs show up again and you level them again. I don't know why these guys just don't bother at this point. They just keep getting their asses spanked. It's weird fighting the drones because I didn't think it would be that fun, but it's a lot more fun than you actually would think. Because I remember, like, go back to games like Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, you fight drones, but they just sort of march at you in a fucking straight line. They do that in this, but see when you kill them, you shoot their arm off, shoot their heads off, cut them in half, blow off limbs. It's great. It's like, violence, but no violence at all. It's weird. And then you'll get so far in the game, and then these creatures will show up, and it's like they're snatchers, and they take Marcus off. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you're fighting what looks a lot like locust drones, only they're pink and fleshy rather than grey and sort of turd-like, I suppose.
Oh, that's nasty.
Jin's disappearances. I think we just found them.
They're harvesting us. If this is what happens to people they capture... Oh God, Mom.
Kate, hey, come on. We'll get her back, all right? We need to find that mine. Come on.
And I think that's where I'll leave talking about like most of the story beats, because I don't want to tell you everything. I mean, I could just go and blah 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 blah, blah, blah happens and that's the game done. You're like, well, I don't really need to play it now, but I want to leave a wee air of mystery. And the game is gorgeous. It runs at 60 FPS. Yes, I am playing it on the Xbox SX? Fuck knows. One of the new ones, the big fucking obelisk looking bastard. Everybody hates that, but the PS5's gorgeous, and away fucking go. See, going from Gears of War Judgment at 30 to Gears 4 at 60, man, I couldn't play the game at first. So fast, I was like, what the fuck, I can't aim at anything. Took me a good like 20 minutes, half hour, maybe longer than that, to actually get used to the way the game feels and the way the game controls. I had to bring the sensitivity of the cameras down, because I was like, I can't play this fucking game. Every time I go to aim at something, I always end up like fucking 10 feet away from it, in whatever direction I'm aiming in. Go to the left, you end up at the far left. You go to the right, you end up at the far right. And it's like, oh fuck, up, down, far up. You know, you get the fucking idea, right? And then so you get a really cool wee mission at the start of the game where it's Pendulum Wars, and then it's Emergency, and then it's the end of the Locust War in Gears of War 3 when you're fighting them off out of that fucking big fortress-like thing, which is cool. Then you get into the nitty-gritty of the game, and it's 25 years later, and blah 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 blah.
What the hell?
JD?
Then you get some vehicle sections, you've got your branching paths as well. You get some new weapons. I'm not overly keen on a lot of the new weapons, though, like the Buzzkill, which fires out, you know, buzz saws, and it's slow, and it's, I mean, it just feels clumsy to me. And there's the drop shot, and I couldn't get to grips with that one at all. Not the biggest fan. And a lot of the enemies, unfortunately, do feel like reskins of other enemies from previous games, and even enemies within their own game. So you get small, mid-range, big and giant enemies from the COG, and you get the same with the Horde. They now call them the Horde, even though they just... It really is Gears of War 1, 2 and 3, only with a slight rewrite and a slight change of paint. It's a wee bit disappointing, but at the same time, it's great fun, and I don't really know what else they could have done with the game to make it, you know, to make it really different. I mean, a lot, like even Halo 4 and 5, they're just retreads of what happened previous. I actually think they do it slightly better in Halo. Controversy aside, whatever you feel, however you feel about Holo. Yes, Holo 4. I am playing Holo. Jesus Christ. I learned to fucking speak. Maybe I'm doing this too early in the morning. I don't know. I'm just an arsehole. Plain and simple. Prick. Yep, that's me. But I enjoy the sound of my own voice. So I don't really. I'm joking when I say things like that. I'm not being serious. We bit of ASMR for you. I fucking hate ASMR. Some arsehole. Yes. The vehicle section, from what I remember, there's one. Can't remember if there's more. Yes, I've played this game at the end, but a while ago, and I was just really capturing footage, played it through this time, so it's like, I can't quite remember how many vehicle sections. The vehicle section you get is on a bike, JD's driving, Marcus in the back with a wee machine gun. You got to, and it's fucking hard because you're going as fast as fuck, and you need to dodge trees. It kind of reminds me of the speeder bike chase in Return of the Jedi, kind of like that. Only I died a few times. Driving straight into trees, driving straight into rocks, just making an absolute gates of it. And then you get to the end of the level and you got a boss fight with a giant plane. I actually really like this, where you need to shoot turrets out, you need to shoot the engines out, and you need to shoot out the core of the plane. And it lasted a lot longer than I remember it.
Hey, we're not gonna last long against this thing!
James, more fire!
Can't you shoot anymore?
Got it! We're not done yet! Shoot the guns!
Come on, Dad, bring that vulture down!
The engine core's exposed! Now's our chance!
Another awesome aspect of this is the weather system. The storms you're going to see, and you'll get hit with lightning, and the lightning will crawl along the ground, and you'll need to avoid it or you get cooked inside out. Brilliant physics, brilliant. The game just looks stunning, and it's quite awe-inspiring to see, you know, it all fold out into some big fucking action set piece when you've got storms blowing in, you've got enemies getting blown about, and you've got these like sort of orange beams, wooden beams you can shoot, and you can affect the landscape, and you can use the landscape against your enemy, and if you're not careful you can kill yourself, and I've done that a few times as well. Another big complaint about the game is when you get to the end, it just kind of stops. It's like, yay! Blah. I was like, what? Didn't feel at the end of the game at all. The boss fight at the end's not bad. Nothing really to write home about. But I just thought, why is this finished? Kind of just feel like it was really just starting to get going, and then it's just like, build up, big action, done. You're like, oh, I want more. And you get more in Gears 5. But it's just like I think this could have had a better ending, and it could have been paced a wee bit better towards the end of the game. Because I just didn't want to stop playing it, to be quite honest with you. And if you do feel like your horde modes and your death matches and your whatever multiplayer, no, I don't really give a shit about multiplayer. But I could play horde mode, I suppose, but it's not the same when there's no story, and the stakes are just, you know, beating an enemy number wise, and you're like, But it is fun to play Horde mode in 4-player co-op. I'm not going to deny that. I wasted a lot of my youth playing Gears of War 2 co-op with my friends. It was a great time. Had a big laugh. So I do recommend, if you've played the old ones and you're unsure, get this, because it's good. It's on Xbox Game Pass. You could probably pick it up cheap too. I recommend it. Just get it, play it, love it, and then play it again and again and again and again and again. And then play some Horde mode and then go on to 5 and do the same again. And then just start all over again. Fuck it, why not? So let's end this video here. I'll just say thanks for watching and good night.
Oscar, we got the fabricator. Hi.
Lieutenant, you've been busy.
First Minister Jin, you're looking magnetic.
Enough foolishness. You're coming with us.
Those are new, and they're armed.
They are. And here's what's interesting. Unlike you two, they actually follow orders.
What is this? You looking for a repeat of Settlement 2?
A highly successful operation. It's now our most compliant settlement.
Look, our village hasn't had power in weeks. We need this fabricator.
I don't care about the goddamn fabricator. You're taking my people.
What?
Don't forget, I know what you were trained to do.
Bye?
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The final Gears of War game, which is now just called Gears for some reason. Actually, I find that quite irritating. Let's call Gears of War 5 Gears 5. I know people refer to it as Gears, but that's just a social abbreviation. Everybody does that. It'd be like them just deciding to call Resident Evil 8 Resi 8. No, I'm not a fan of the name change. But whatever. Oh yes, spoilers abound.
Time to face the music.
Oh, here we go once again into the train pain. The train pain? The pain train, the train of pain. Shut up and get on with the fucking review, eh? Somebody's a grumpy Gus tonight. Welcome to the Gears 5 review. I will try and impart you with my knowledge in as much as I've absolutely managed to remember. There'll be some things that I miss out because I am a forgetful prick. So you're just going to have to deal with that. If you don't like that, I don't care. Okay? So I hear you cry, what is Gears 5? Well, to absolutely no one's shock, it's a cover-based third-person shooter where you shoot things in third person in cover 90% of the time. Sometimes you'll be in a vehicle shooting things. But for most of the game, you'll be on your feet, crouched down, shooting over, you know, chest-high walls. Basically. There's a lot of chest-high things in this universe. That annoys some people. It's too video gamey. Well, it is a video game, so let's not think too heavily on that one, shall we? And I'll talk to you, like I said, as much as I can remember about the game, but I'm a forgetful big shite, so you'll just have to bear with me, alright? Right, so this game is actually a pseudo-open world game, right? You'll have to bear with the game for a wee while. A few missions down the line, it will open up and you will like, oh, I got a vehicle to use. It's a wee skiff with sails on it, and you just sort of ski about the place because it's wind operated, so you don't need to run out of fuel, you know. Even though it's a video game, so they didn't really have to have the fuel thing in it if they didn't want to, because they could have said it was some sort of fusion engine that was powering the thing. It's fusion, it lasts forever. And there are 2 open areas in this game. Now be aware that when you get to the certain part of the first area, which is all snowy, you'll be prompted that you cannot go back if you go forward. So that's you into the second area. So if there's any missions you've missed, make sure you do them before you continue on with your game. Otherwise, you'll have to start again. But there's a new game plus mode, so even if you did do that, just play it again, because, well, to be quite honest, it's just a fantastic game and you should be playing it multiple times because it's a fantastic game!
Dave, with me!
Ignition, engine 1.
God damn it, James!
I have got to learn to stop following you.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I have to say, I think the shooting's probably the most refined it's ever been. And that's saying something, because I thought Gears of War 4 had really good shooting. This is just so much better. It's like, how much tighter and fucking fun can they make it? Well, as it turned out, quite a bit more. Very satisfying blowing heads off, blowing limbs off. Just a very satisfying time all round. It's very violent as well, so you beware of that, you know, with your chainsaw guns and your shotguns and your machine guns that can fire mini rockets. That's one of the new weapon things in this, is that you can get a Lancer now called the Lancer GL, and it will fire mini rocket. You don't get too many, and you need to sort of be careful how you aim, because they're not homing, but they are explosive. Honestly, there are more new weapons, but I can't really remember them, because I kind of just stick to my usual ones, my Lancers, my shotguns, my bolt gun thingy, the big hand cannon thing you get. Yeah, that's cool. I'm racking my brain here. You drop shot, that was in 4. It's just really, there are other ones, but they're not great, and they come at the second part of the game, and they take fucking ages to load, and that's a big fucking no-no for me. Another wee guy that's had a significant upgrade is Jack. Remember the robot, the flying robot thing, where you can now upgrade him, give him abilities, give him stim packs, give him more health. You can use like a sort of electronic laser beam type thing to freeze enemies and piss them off. You can make that last longer. You can make them revive enemies. You can make them revive if they've been down faster. You get the idea. You can upgrade and move abilities about that you want. You can use your D-pad up and down. It'll move the abilities, and it's just a really great thing. You know, it's just something that they needed. They needed to freshen the game up, and they've managed to keep it the same, but yet change it as well. And not change it in ridiculous ways that are going to piss everybody off. Like, this isn't fucking Gears anymore. This is fucking... I don't know what this is, but it's not Gears.
Control, need backup. A sensor thing's about to... Fuck it.
Never mind, Control. I took care of it. DBs, we gotta secure this straight.
So there's none of that pish, and you'll find wee upgrade nodes for them throughout the level. So when you're playing it, scout around. You can open safes, you can tell them to do things, you can tell them to lift weapons for you. You can just like aim the gun at a grenade or a fucking heavy weapon. You need to upgrade the heavy weapon thing right enough. He doesn't just lift that off the bat. Get a Lancer you want to get, you run out of ammo. I've run out of ammo, Jack, go and get that, will you? Not going... and he'll fucking do it. You can also set off hazards, like environmental hazards, like steam jets, and you can scald your enemies and they're all running about going bah! And as they're doing that, you can fucking shoot them in the face and blow their heads up with really satisfying effect, you understand. You can also select your character to a point. When I started the game, I could select between JD, Dell and Jack. I don't know why I wanted to go Jack right enough. But then when I got to a certain part of the game, it switched me to Kate. So I'm playing as Kate now. Which yeah, it's cool. She's a cool character, I like her. I can't remember, you're cutting about with a couple other people. JD's become a bit of a prick, for reasons, which you'll see. I hope you play it. I really hope this convinces you if you haven't otherwise been convincing. The fact that you can get it on Game Pass for the PC and the Xbox. If you're on Game Pass or you're sort of smothering, go grab it for a month. See what you think. You'll love it. If you like Gears, you're going to love this. It's just a no-brainer. And this game comes with its Horde mode versus blah 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 blah. There's also Hive Busters mode, which I didn't play because it's multiplayer only, so there you go. There is Hive Busters DLC, but I'll get to that another day. Pretty sure this is also the longest Gears. I think it's about around 12 to 15 hours. So it doesn't seem that long comparing what we've got around about us. Like, you get like Rage and your big Assassin's Creed open world games, but this is only pseudo open world. It's not fully open world, but it is explorable, and I do suggest you just take your time, go and have a look and see what you can find. You get a map. The thing I do like about it is it doesn't just thrust you into an open world game. There is the linear sections at the start, and that lasts quite a bit longer than I remembered. The enemy variety is also a lot better than this, I think. At least I think it is. It is highly possible that it's just the same, but I've just been having a lot more fun playing, so I've not noticed it the same. It's probably what it actually is, believe it or not. There are some new enemies, I'm going to introduce you to them now. So ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for the Swarm.
Yeah, and now I gotta get up again. Was getting worried. You didn't report back.
Radio died, and these guys pulled me out of a jam.
Guess I owe you twice, Phoenix.
Now what?
What the hell?
Oh shit! Everyone, run!
Teddy, we lost him!
Delta, I'll sit down for extraction.
No!
What are the Swarm? Well, they're the replacements for the Skrull from the first game, basically. They're leeches that leech off you and can take over units of robotic persuasions. There's also other little robot bits in the game where people are they're corrupted robots, kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn, and they're kind of like zombies actually. But I find them quite fun to shoot, and you take them apart and you get to like that another bit that's like a sphere and you shoot it and they blow up and die. Or you can chainsaw them, or you can sneak up on them and just take the battery out their back. Because why the fuck not? And as it comes to enemies and bosses, you get familiar faces that have been changed slightly. You remember the Brumac, don't you? Well, now you've got a Swarmac. You're like, that was a bit of a shitty naming convention there, people. Do you even know what that fucking means, Brumac? What is that? You get a Swarm, sir? Let's maybe a corpse, sir? I don't think so. I don't remember unless I missed it in the open world section, which is entirely possible. And you'll also find out that Kate has got some connection to this Swarm. She gets eaten by I don't know what the fuck it is, a four-legged slouch vagina monster. That's kind of what it looks like. And then she starts to be able to take control of these creatures, and she's like, what the fuck's going on? And this is where you can choose whether to kill the Swarm or your allies. And like, fucking, I killed a bit of both, because, well, we've got to try these things, don't we? It's fun. And it's got your emotional moments as well. It's like, oh, boo-hoo, this guy died from the whatever game, and I don't really remember who the fuck he was anyway. So, who cares? There's a nice wee choicey bit at the end of the game, but I'll leave that entirely for you to find out. A wee choice. Ooh, A or B, motherfucker. It's thrilling, isn't it? Anyway, I think I've rabbited enough pish. I'll see you in the next video, which will be something not Gears of War related. Or Gears related. There is a Gears Tactics game, but it's not a shooter, so I'm not doing that just now. If I ever do it, I don't know, I'll see. Good night.
Hey, Del.
Hey, what?
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Del, it's been hours. Tell me we're getting close.
Marcus's coordinates put New Hope in a valley up ahead. So we're close. So you haven't said a word in a while. How you doing?
The good news is, I'm starting to get the hang of this thing, which has been a nice distraction. Look, I'll be okay. It's just hard to believe Uncle's really gone.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks for asking about how I'm doing, by the way.
Thanks for driving. Exhausting as it looks.
Very much so.
Hey, I'm sorry for the way JD treated you back at the village. He's just...
No, you're the last person who needs to apologize for him.
Yo, stop! We got a gate ahead! And, from the look of it, this wall's pretty recent too.
Definitely new car. All right, let's get around and find a way to open this thing.
Look, JD kept a big secret from you. But how am I any different?
You told us your secret.
Okay, hello. This one will be shorter than the others, and it is the last Gears of War review. That was the last in the mainline series. This is a review of the final piece of DLC for now, and it's called Hive Busters. Welcome to the Hive Busters review for Gears 5.
Hey, Major Hall! Fuck you!
I can't believe they brought a civilian.
My first mission in 25 years. This is Keegan. Anyone read me? That's not too promising.
So, Gears 5 Hive Busters was released over a year after the original game was released. This was released in December 2020, whereas the Gears 5 game was released in September of 2019. So it was quite a long time, quite a huge gap. They must have felt like, fuck, we need to get something Gears of War related to keep it in the mind of the public and our adoring audience and things like that, but I don't know, it just kind of feels a bit flat. It fell flat, and I'll tell you the reasons for why it fell flat. But first, some information about the game. You are in a squad of 3, so you can have 3-player co-op if you desire to, and the 3 playable characters are Keegan, Lahani and Mac, and they make up Scorpio Squad, and they were first introduced in the Gears 5 Escape multiplayer mode, which I didn't play because it's multiplayer only. Even though things like that were single player and multiplayer back in the day, but not now. No. I did manage to play Horde mode in Gears 5 somehow without having Xbox Live Gold, but now it's like, no, you must have Xbox Live Gold to play this mode. You fucking peasant! Anyway, sorry about that. So they make up this wee squad, they hunt down swarms and hives and blow them the fuck up. Which is terribly exciting. Well, actually, it's quite cool. It's just that this DLC is about 2 hours long. Not great. And cost me 15 fucking quid. 2 hours long, £15. Not that you'll pay the average £15 for a Blu-ray. The average movie's about 2.5 hours. So, yeah. I expect a wee bit more from my interactive entertainment. Just a wee bit more depth or girth or replayability. I mean, it is replayable. I mean, I do enjoy the actual gameplay of the Gears series, but this is like a if Gears 5 was the pond and the lake, this is like a surface puddle and a pothole. Do you know what I mean? It's just balls flat. Really nice idea. Came out over a year after the game was released, and it's just, I don't know, it still feels rushed. It's like, kind of feels like they've just released this to keep Gears in the public consciousness, along with Gears Tactics. We'll release Gears Tactics, and then we'll release this. I'm not sure which came out first, and really it doesn't really matter, they come out right at the same time. Only Gears Tactics was released on the PC first, and then it was released on the Xbox One. Actually, I think it was about a year even between those releases, so maybe they released this just to give Xbox One players something like they're not getting left out, and then they're like, oh, we will have this just now, and within a year's time you'll get Gears Tactics and blah blah blah. Yeah, blah 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 blah. So this takes place in an island. Can't remember what island it is. Just Hive Island, right? It's shite island full of man-eating leeches. God damn, I love the man-eating leeches, and take them out with a fucking big machine gun. It's very satisfying.
Oh shit! With a waterfall! Take it down!
I haven't got a lot of footage for the game because I wanted to leave some semblance of mystery. There's a part where you're doing like a lava river on a big door, which is cool, but there are really no set pieces because it's too short. So the characters they're not bad. I think Keegan, he reminds me of the guy from Ram's Shadow because he basically looks the same, even though it's not the same. I think. I'm pretty sure that other guy died before that, doesn't matter. Yeah, so this is your whack, I'm afraid, ladies and gents. A 2 hour long campaign that cost far too much money. £14 for this was too much. I think 8, 7 would have been a far better price point. Okay, you can get it on Game Pass, but I don't have Game Pass and not everybody does. Game Pass is a great deal. I like buying my games, which I'm now actually starting to rein in because it's getting fucking ridiculous. So maybe I'll go down the Game Pass route at some point, but not just now. But I think if you've got Game Pass, there's no excuse not to try this and Gears 5. But if you're wanting to buy this because you've bought Gears 5, wait for a sale, please. I couldn't believe it when it finished. I thought, I was literally just really getting into it, and it's fucking over. I was like, yeah, it's not the greatest. Not because it's a bad quality game, not because the gameplay shit or anything like that, just for the simple fact that it's over in the blink of a cock's eye. Okay? Thanks for joining us for this video again. I don't know who us is, but that's what came out my mouth at the time. And I'll see you in the next one. Good night.
Here's the results.
Right. Sorry to be late and all. We survived a horrific condor crash, fought an endless horde of monsters from hell, and barely escaped with our lives. But how's your day been?
Well, it's about goddamn time.
Holy shit.
What?
Show some respect. It's Colonel Victor Hoffman.
It's an honor, sir. A real hell of an honor.
Shared sentiment, soldier. That's why you're here. Best of the best.